Hey everybody, Miss Runklesmith here. I am just going to go over what you're going to be doing today because we have an asynchronous class, and I just want to make sure you understand how to use the different parts of the gizmo. And so basically, obviously I'm making this earlier than when this playlist would be active, but so this is the stuff that we did this week or last week as you're watching this. But what you should see now on your overview page is going to be the seafloor spreading and rock age. So now that we know that we can date rock using absolute dating methods and radiometric dating and all that half-life and everything, how does that add to the age of the Earth and how our continents got to where they are? So this week we're going to be looking at seafloor spreading, and the first thing we're going to be looking at is continental drift. So on your playlist, the first thing you're going to see is going to be the note. Again, this is just explaining how that what you're going to be doing, that there's no teams meeting for our class today, and then for a little bit about the assignment and how you're going to be completing a gizmo. So you're going to be investigating Alfred Wegener's theory of continental drift and the evidence that he had to support it. So he was kind of laughed at when he first kind of presented this information to the scientific community. They were all like, well, how does it work? How does it happen? And he said that they were like kind of like ships, and how they would just kind of cut through the rock on the ocean floor. And they thought that that was silly and completely unrealistic. And so he was laughed at, and it wasn't until the 1960s when we started to kind of explore the ocean floor more and get sonar and all that kind of stuff, that they actually realized that he was in fact correct. And so you are going to be looking at this evidence that he presented before he was basically confirmed that it actually happened. All right, so here's the note for today. Hopefully it gives a little bit of information to you. And then your assignment is the week 27, day 1. So when you open that up, again, this is going to be due on Friday, which is the 19th by midnight. And then you're going to go ahead, and this is what you're going to see. So the week 27, day 1 continental drift. So you're going to start with prior knowledge questions. Go ahead and answer those. And then I'm going to work through the warm-up and kind of just show you how to set up each of the activities. There are going to be 3 activities that you're going to be doing after the gizmo warm-up. So let's go ahead and get started. So when you go to Explore Learning, go ahead and log in. I am already logged in. And then once you go to your class, you should see the different gizmos that we've already done. Building Pangaea is the one that we're going to be working on today. So click on that. We're going to go ahead and launch the gizmo. And then this is what you're going to see. If you're like me and the clicking noise bothers you, go into Tools and click off the sound. That'll get rid of that. And now it's asking you to just get familiar with the different tools that you have here. So the first thing it talks about is how you can grab the continents in the middle and move around. So anytime you have the hand, it means that you can grab it and move it. And you'll notice that each of the continents, as you move the hand over, it will tell you which continent it is or which landmass it is. If you move something and you're like, oh crap, I didn't mean to move it there, you can click reset and it puts everything back the way it was. To rotate a continent, when you hover over it, you'll get that little circle with the arrow. That means that you can then click on it and kind of move it around and rotate it, because for activity A, you're going to be moving these around a little bit. It does also talk about how when you're moving, when you're doing things, if you click help and drag it over, it'll tell you what the different continents are too, or the different land masses, I should say. It asks you to take an arrow and drag the arrow over and kind of point to where we live. And so it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're about there. Get it as close to where we live as you can. And then drag the land masses to try and make them fit, or drag them until you can randomly make a big mess, and then try and put them back where they were, and then hit reset to see how you did. Okay, so for activity A, at the top, it tells you what to do and how to set up the gizmo so that you can complete it and do the analysis questions and be successful in answering those. So the question is, what did Pangaea look like? So it gives you a little bit of background information about Alfred Wegener. And then it tells you how to set everything up. So you click reset and make sure that when it's talking about the evidence, you click none. And then it tells you to kind of look at South America and Africa and how their coastlines maybe kind of look very similar and how they could maybe fit together. So you're going to drag South America so that it's close to Africa. And then once you figure that out, you're going to try and fit all the land masses together to make Pangaea. All right, so remember, you can turn stuff. You'd want to try and make it so that they're not overlapping as much as possible. So try and get them as close as you can without overlapping. If there's a little bit of overlap, it's not going to be the end of the world. And then what you got to do is, after you take all of the continents and try and fit them together as best as you can, you're either going to take a screenshot here, or what you're going to do is type in snipping tool, and it'll bring up the snipping tool. I have mine in my bar right here, and then just kind of take a picture of it. So you can drag the snipping tool and it'll take a screenshot for you, and then copy and paste that into your assignment. Once you're done with that, answer the questions that are underneath of that, and then you can move on to activity B. For activity B, you're going to click reset, and then the first part, you're looking for evidence with fossil evidence. So you'll notice that when you click on fossil evidence, over here it has a key about what these fossils are. So Glossopteris is a plant. You can find that in Australia, Antarctica, South America, Africa, but you see these bands here that they can line up, and so you're going to try and put the continents together again like a puzzle, but this time you have these kind of bands, these different colors of the different fossils to help you do that. All right, answer the questions for that. And then now you need to revise. So under evidence, you're going to choose rocks. And now you get some different bands. You have some purple and you have some of the maybe like a tan color, and it tells you the ages of those over here in this key. So adjust your map using this evidence. So you're not going to reset in between fossils. You're going to put them together using that, and then you're going to go to rock. Don't hit reset between them because you're using the rocks to kind of verify your positioning of all of these land masses. Once you're done verifying everything and maybe making your final adjustments, you're going to take another screenshot, or again use the snipping tool to take a screenshot, and then copy and paste that into your assignment. Answer that last question for analysis questions about Alfred Wegener, and then you're going to move on to activity C. So for activity C, then we're going to click reset, maybe, and then under evidence, you're going to go to glaciers. And so now this is going to show you where the glaciers are located and also the direction that they are moving, or the direction of the scratches of where the glaciers kind of melted and moved. Yeah. So which land masses show evidence of ancient glaciers? So not all of them do. So again, you're going to hover over them and list the names. Drag the land masses together to again form the map of Pangaea. See if they line up and that the arrows are pointing in the same general directions based on where the land masses are. And then again, answer some of the questions, take another screenshot or snip another shot, put it into your assignment, and then do the analysis questions. There's an extend your thinking question, and then what is the pattern of the direction of the glacial scratches, and then which land masses do you think were located over the South Pole at the time of Pangaea, if any. Okay. Once you're done with this, you're going to go ahead and submit your assignment, and then you'll be good to go. If you are having trouble, if you have absolutely no idea, you're overwhelmed, I want you to, or if you don't know your login information for the gizmo, I will be periodically checking my email and its learning chat, so please ask me for those. If I don't get to you right away, Please try and work on something else for our class that you might not have already turned in. Anything that's missing, use this time wisely. And then once I am able to get to answer your questions or get you your gizmo information, if you don't remember the login information, then you can begin working on this. If I don't get to you, and for some reason I feel really, really bad and I'm not able to answer my emails or anything, set up an office hours meeting on Friday, and I'll work through this with you. I'll be able to get you your gizmo information and all that. Okay, so hopefully you guys have a good day. Hopefully you're learning some stuff about Afro-Begner and the evidence behind continental drift. And because we're going to be continuing on with this, our next class on Wednesday. I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you then.